It's now time for the morning show on XL7-TV.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. Welcome to the morning show on XL7-TV. I was about to sneeze before it started, and it went away, thank goodness. I'm David.
I was going to go straight on to him with the camera,
right?
Get his face all flustered.
That would have been wonderful. I'm David Stroud, here with Bob Reckenwald and Scott Callies, and we appreciate you joining us for the show. And we like to start it off with the morning prayer, and that's brought to you by Roller Funeral Home. With all our respect, they have 29 in the state and 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. It's definitely a job that I could not do, and I appreciate those that do that job. It's definitely a hard time when you lose a loved one, and we appreciate their service.
Have you ever had a chance to talk to any of the people that work over there?
I have not.
They have a completely and I agree with you. It would be a tough job, something I couldn't do on a regular basis. But they look at it as they are truly there to help. They feel led into those positions. Here we go.
Wait a minute. Did you hear what he just said?
That they were truly there to help?
No.
Oh,
I messed
something
up.
I couldn't do on a daily basis. He couldn't do it at all.
Oh.
No. I agree with that. I agree with that. They do it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
But they look at it completely different. I mean, they have a lot of pride in what they do. They're there to help people. They're there to make a difference, and they do.
They do
really
make a difference. Yeah. Yeah, and we do appreciate that.
Pre-planning is a very important thing, though, and I think that helps.
Is.
I think that helps them do their job as well, don't you?
Right. When there's already a plan in place,
Sure.
and somebody's distraught and they don't know what to do, but it's already ready, so they can just take it step by step with them, and it makes it a lot easier for the family. Yeah. So give them a call if you want to do pre-planning. And
sure.
Yeah. All right. Now we'll take a second for the morning prayer. Dear Lord, there's, not naming names, but there's some people that you see on social media that they've got some family members that are going into surgery, or they're in the hospital, they have ailments, and they just want unspoken prayers. And so I pray for those people today that have medical issues. They're going in for surgery, they're scared, and just put your hand on their shoulder and let them know that you're there for them. And guide them doctors through those things, and give them a hand. In that I pray, amen.
Amen.
Amen. And so now we'll take a short break and listen to Bob and Linda Zadora, and come back after that.
Quick word from Bob and Linda. Be right back.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Bob Zadora, the Z Team, at Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. As you know, we are all facing some unusual times. Be calm. Be smart. The business world of real estate will continue. We may have some delays and some changes that are out of our control, but life will go on, and this too will pass. Give thanks for this wonderful country that we live in. Give thanks for the neighbors that we share. If there's anything we can do to give you a hand, give us a call. 870-405-0793. And check out our website, retiredtoarkansas.net.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV, and we are going to take a look at the White River, and that's brought to you by the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zadora. Look at that.
Clear this morning.
Absolutely clear. It's like 62 degrees, my truck said, so it's beautiful out. You don't necessarily have to have a coat on. You could have a short sleeve shirt and feel good.
It's been the first clear shot we've had in a while.
It looks, it looks absolutely beautiful. You're in they're in Marion County, looking into Baxter County. Off in the distance in the center part is Missouri, and Bull Shoals to the left and Mountain Home to the right. You get the Rainbow Bridge down there on the river to the left, the ballpark, and Cotter is absolutely stunning. This shot is great. And I was there Sunday with Carla. We were doing team pictures because they got a couple of new team members, and they needed to do new pictures, and we're standing up there, and I'm just taking pictures with my phone of it. And I haven't posted them yet, but I was just like, this is incredible.
It's a breathtaking view.
It's just absolutely beautiful. Yeah. I'd love to have that view. And that's brought to you by the Z Team. You can go to retiredtoarkansas.net and take a look at the White River live. They also have videos that zoom in and out and go into different areas. There's one. So that's way off in the distance.
Yeah, that's looking off into
That'd be
Missouri.
How far does that zoom?
I don't know, but it's a lot.
I mean, that's like miles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
As
incredible.
a crow flies, that's probably 10 miles.
10 miles? Yeah, watch it as it backs out. How far that is. Look at that.
Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
And this camera will switch. It's got that 15 different locations. It switches about 10, 15 seconds.
Right.
Different
And
angles. And
you had installed all those for him, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you like cameras like this, maybe you've got a view at your house and you want to be able to see it from your phone or let somebody else see it, Scott can install them for you.
What we got floating on the river?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Are they ducks?
Tree.
A tree? Could be. Bob and Linda Zadora of the Z Team are looking for houses to sell because right now they are selling like hotcakes and they could use your listing. If you're thinking about selling, they can definitely get it done for you. Linda is great at staging your house and letting you know exactly what helps when it comes to taking pictures. And I'm a believer in that. You definitely want to stage your house. Like you go into the kitchen, you got tons of stuff on the counters. You want to get that stuff off. You know what I mean? And open it up and make it look bigger. And so they definitely can do that. They've been doing it for many years. They have a commitment to excellence. They are realtors that you would recommend to a friend. I recommend them to people. And so you can give them a call at 870-405-0793. I'm going to make sure not get that wrong again. And so give them a chance to earn your business if you're looking to buy or sell. They're definitely realtors you can trust. So now we will take a look at the weather. I've refreshed the map. It is rolling, but we'll start with the temperatures. Mountain Home, Arkansas, 56. Harrison is 57. Batesville, 55. Yellville, 54. Marshall is 54. Salem, 54. Mountain View, 54. Calico Rock is 56. West Plains, Missouri is 54. Springfield, Missouri, 57. Poplar Bluff is 54. St. Louis, Missouri, 57. And probably dodge that. But if you're going up to the north into Iowa and Minnesota, they're definitely getting some rain in the near future. Let's zoom in and take a closer look at that. So
I'm tired of not mowing lawn everywhere.
all right, moving on. And severe storms likely Monday for the Central High Plains. Let's see, it's Tuesday, so wind and hail potential. It looks like pretty much three corners, I guess you would call it, of South Dakota, Kansas, Missouri, and Iowa. So if you're going to be in that area, be very careful, cautious for the heavy wind and hail. Watches and warnings in Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, it's all clear. Very good. But you got them red flag warnings over in the western part of Texas and eastern part of New Mexico. And so what's the red flag warning again, Scooter?
it's just high winds and fire. It's just
High
a
winds
fire
and
risk.
fire. So be very careful. Don't be, burning any leaves or anything. 7-day forecast. Today, we got a 20% chance of showers in the afternoon, mostly sunny, 80% high. Tonight, we got partly cloudy, then slight chance of thunderstorms at 20%, low of 63. Wednesday, slight chance of thunderstorms in the morning, very low, 10%, then mostly sunny, high at 89. Wednesday night, slight chance, 20% slight chance of thunderstorms, low of 65. Thursday, it's mostly sunny, a high of 88. Thursday night, mostly clear, a low of 70. Friday, sunny, then a chance of thunderstorms at 30%, high of 87.
That needs to back out right there.
Yes, what's going on Friday?
That's graduation.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
that needs to leave.
Well, and then if it does happen to do that, what Jake said that they would do it Saturday morning or at 10,
Yeah,
that's still...
We'll look at Saturday morning.
68%. Okay, so Friday night, 60%.
We need Friday night to work.
Yes, thunderstorms, and then Saturday. I don't know if there's a contingency plan if it rains both times, but let's pray. Lord, we have another prayer for you. Please move that that thunderstorms out of the area so we can have a nice graduation. Anyway, Saturday high of 71. The pollen count, tree pollen is high today. Tomorrow is moderate, Thursday is moderate. Grass pollen today is high, tomorrow is very high, Thursday is very high. Wonderful, that's when I'm gonna mow. Norfolk Lake water level is at 571.29. I didn't call again. Zero generation, Bob says, as of what we know. Bull Shoals Lake water level is at 684.49, and we have 3 going, as we know. So they could change that. Just know that. All right, and that's a look at your weather, and that is brought to you by the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zadora. You can give them a call at 870-405-0793. Go to their website at retiredtoarkansas.net, and they have a very user-friendly website.
They do.
Yeah, definitely go and check that out for their listings, and they'll also have the MLS listings on there too. All right, let's take a short break, and we'll come back with the community news.
It's a matter of taste, and at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home.
I'm Henry K.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. I'm David Stroud here with Bob and Scooter, and we're going to take a quick look at the library's website. We have the best library in Arkansas, I believe. And I just wanted to real quick show you. You go to baxtercountylibrary.org or baxlib.org if you don't want to type in that much. And you can see here programs and services, books and more. Each one of these drop down to different things that you can do. But you can see right here is a calendar and right here is a calendar. Click on that for any of the programs that they have.
They got so much, and that's why it's hard to list. It's easier to just kind of show the website and have people stare that direction.
And just look at all the things, just, you know, Wednesday, coloring club, fun for 3s, 4s, 5s, issues and viewpoints, after school meals, yoga for adults. And you can see the little window to the left pops open, but you can like click on issues and viewpoints, and it goes and tells you what they're doing. So it's a user-friendly website when you know where to look, and that's the only thing, and that's what I wanted to show you. So
all
right. In other news, the Arkansas State Police are still actively searching for the missing 14-year-old girl, Sarah Gilpin of Mountain Home. She's a white female with long brown hair. She was last seen last week, Thursday afternoon, around the 1300 block of College Street in Mountain Home, wearing a gray shirt, black pants, and Converse shoes. It is possible Sarah is with a 40-year-old Isaac Melder in a maroon diesel pickup with possibly a black hood. Let's see, license plate number 331YEW. Anyone with information on the whereabouts should call Mountain Home Police Department at 870-425-6336. So let's hope that she's found soon. Bob, did you have something? Did you find?
There's Arkansas Game and Fish Commission are stocking several locations with catfish.
Yeah.
And some of them are called bonus fish because there's a bonus prize if you happen to catch one. But locally, they're stocking Ammons Lake with some tagged catfish. It's an annual thing that started in 2012, and you can go down to Ammons Lake if you don't know where that's at. It's Highway 5 South. Go to the Raystall Soccer Complex, and Ammons Lake is in the back of that.
Yeah.
So it's.
Did it say what the prize is?
No.
I like prizes. I can't catch a fish to save my life. Every time I go with my brother, he skunks me. I'm just there for moral support, but I think maybe I could in a pond or lake. It's a small lake.
Man stock controlled lake.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good on the rivers and the ponds, but you put me out on a lake,
right?
Those fish are just laughing at me.
Okay.
There's just too many of them.
Yeah. In other news, May 18th, tomorrow, from 2 to 5 p.m., I thought this was good. Community Education, Home Security, and Tactical Home Defense. That's McMullen Hall Room in Dreyer Hall at ASU MH. It's $10, and it's brought to you by Reactive Tactics. This is an introductory course on home safety and tactical home defense. Participants will learn about proper mindset, how to conduct home and community threat assessments, how to harden their home and themselves, non-monitored security systems, firearm and ammo selection, enhanced training opportunities. You can do this as a team, family, response, and unarmed response. Participants should leave with the knowledge of how to be better prepared, to be ready, and how to be proactive to avoid, well, something like that you don't want to ever have to go through, but I think this would be a great class. So that's tomorrow from 2 to 5 in Dreyer Hall at ASU MH. It's only $10. Definitely worth the money. With the way things are going right now, it's not a bad thing to learn.
The weather's getting nicer, which means that motorcycles are coming out.
Yes, that's
Bike
good.
riders are coming out. Mm-hmm. Bicycle riders and motorcycle riders are coming out. Be aware of that. Be cautious. Make sure you look twice. A motorcycle could come around a corner and you not know it. And what makes me think of that is there was a tragic accident over the weekend down in southern Arkansas where 3 motorcyclists were killed. A car started driving down the wrong direction.
Oh, wow.
Wiped out 3 motorcycles. So
that's terrible.
Condolences to the families and friends of those that were lost, but be aware of your surroundings. Make sure you're paying attention.
Yes.
Put down your phone. Let's not be texting and driving.
Right. Well, and we talked about mowing. Some people, they throw all them clippings out into the road.
Now he's getting personal.
I know you would never do that because you're conscientious of it, but some don't. They think it doesn't matter, and it does matter because that's a hazard for motorcyclists.
There are rules about that too.
There are.
You're not allowed to bloody
In
grass
areas
clippings
there is,
out into the road.
Yeah.
I do want to mention something because we did mention graduation, which is coming up Friday from Mountain Home. Another thing that there is no school on Thursday. Now, with that said, there is no student allowed on campus Thursday. They're bringing the prison team in to get the grounds ready and get things set up, and there's no students allowed on campus at all at the high school on this Thursday on the 17th.
Well, since we're on that topic, the graduation pregame.
Pregame.
To get you ready.
After you've gone through 12 years of school, there shouldn't be any graduation practice. It should be a pregame.
Pregame.
So graduation pregame is mandatory. If you intend to walk, from what I understand, if you intend to walk across the stage on Friday night, you have got to be there at the pregame or the practice on Friday morning.
Right. Yeah, you want to know where to go. You don't want to be off in left field and everybody's waving at you to get you back in line, right?
Hey, Twin Lakes Golf Course is going to be hosting an athletic fundraiser for Cotter High School for the athletic department later this month. Actually, it is on the 21st. It's a 2-man scramble. It's the 2nd annual Cotter Warrior Open. Will be held at Twin Lakes Golf Course. The cost is $100 per team, and carts are $10 extra. Golfers who already have their own cart are asked to bring them, and your check should be made payable to Cotter Schools. That will be on the 21st of May, and go participate. If you're a golfer, go participate in that. Help them out, raise some money. Gainesville is playing on for the district title. They beat Bakersfield last night in the district semifinals. Big Creek beats Harrison to keep the Ozark Cup with a comeback win, which is exciting for the Big Creek folks. And let's see what else we got here. A little area baseball. That was all yesterday and no updated scores. So that's all I can tell you about sports today.
Very good. All right, we're going to take a break and come back with...
We got Alan Yarbrough. He's a candidate for State Rep District 27. So he'll be coming on and talking to us and get to know him a little bit.
Excellent.
Do a little bit of Meet the Candidate.
Meet the Candidate Tuesday.
There you
Sounds
go.
good. We'll be back after this.
I'm Henry Canfield, your candidate for Baxter County Sheriff. I'm a veteran, a family man with over 20 years of law enforcement experience. If you are ready for positive change in your community, I humbly ask for your support May 24th in the Republican primary.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
Hello, I'm Shannon Felicia, and I'm talking to you, the Baxter County citizen. I'm a military man, a veteran, a family man with over 25 years military experience in civil engineering, and I'm asking for your vote on May the 24th in the Republican primary to elect me, Shannon Felicia, as your next Baxter County judge.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
Hello, this is State Representative Jack Fortner. I know you've heard lots of misleading statements about me being a liberal and pro-choice. I assure you, I am neither. I have both the endorsement of the Arkansas Right to Life Council and Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who said Representative Jack Fortner is a conservative Republican who has a consistent record of conservative values. Ask anybody that knows me what kind of a man I am. I ask for your vote, and I thank you for your support. Jack Fortner.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Our guest is Alan Yarbrough. He's a candidate for State Representative District 27. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me here this morning.
Definitely.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
The travel up from Marshall, you came this morning or did you come last night?
Came this morning. Yeah, I came this morning. It takes me about an hour to get from my home where I live in Marshall there to Mountain Home. So I live kind of on the Mountain Home side of things. So I'm frequent Mountain Home quite often.
There you go. The Alan Yarbrough, the man. Who is he? Where have you been? What have you been doing? Married, children, grandchildren?
All right. You know, I get to give this spiel quite often anymore. I've been asked this question a lot in the last 6 months or so. I'm pretty much a lifelong resident of Searcy County. I graduated from Marshall High School in 1983. Went to UCA.
I'm the old guy in the block again.
Yeah. I went to UCA and got my bachelor's degree, and came back and got into coaching and teaching. Started out in Big Flat in Tri-County, which is part of Baxter County, which is also part of my district that I'm running in right now. So things have a tendency to kind of circle around, but started out there, and from there I went to Melbourne and coached in Melbourne, which is also
what sports did
basketball. I started out as a basketball coach, and then came back to Stone County and taught in Timbo, and then eventually ended up back in Marshall, where I've been for the last 27 years. Was a high school principal there at Marshall for 14, and in the last 8 years I've been superintendent of schools there in Searcy County School District. So my wife Brooke and I, we have 4 children together, and I've got 5 grandchildren, and so being in the school business, I usually don't have a lot of downtime. I'm on call 24/7, and so like all schools, the last 2 years has really been a challenge trying to deal with this pandemic and educate kids at the same time. So I'm going to retire at the end of this school year, and so I'm going to be moving on to something else. I'm not sure what that's going to be right now. On the 24th, the voters are going to let me know if they'd like to have me work for them in the state legislature, or I find something else to do. So we'll see how all that goes.
Is your spouse a school teacher?
No, my spouse is not in education. Somebody says, well, how'd that happen? And I said, well, it's actually kind of nice because, if your spouse is in education, you're talking it 24/7. And so at least we go home and we have a chance to talk about something else. My wife is a postal service employee, so she doesn't like for me to tell this, but she runs the post office in Denard, Arkansas. So if you know where Denard is at, that's where my wife, that's her post office.
Yeah, I don't know where.
So Denard is south on Highway 65 as you go out of Searcy County, and it'll be the first little community in Van Buren County when you come into Van Buren County. So
right.
That's where Denard's at, the big metropolis.
Big metropolis.
Yeah.
How old are your children?
So I have 2 older children. My oldest son is 38, and the next one's 32, and then my next son is 21, and then I have a daughter that's 12. So I have a wide range when it comes to children, and so I've had a lot of experiences. I've raised 3 boys, and this is going to be a new challenge trying to get this girl raised and get her through school. So it's going to be interesting for me over the next several years.
It's fun. I have an 18-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old son. So
let's talk after this is over with. Prepare some notes. How about
that? Going from were you ever just a teacher, or have you always?
I was. Yeah, I taught in the classroom when I coached. I'm a former history teacher, so that's where I spent a lot of my teaching was in the classroom teaching, and so that and obviously coaching. Spent a lot of time coaching, but yeah, I am familiar with the classroom, and although I've been out of the classroom for quite a while. I certainly, as superintendent, I understand the value of the teacher in the classroom, and they make all the difference in the world. And my job is to support them, and so that's what I've tried to do over the last 8 years as superintendent, is support those teachers in the classroom that are doing the important work.
All right, 7:30. It's time for a quick break. We've got Alan Yarbrough, candidate for State Representative District 27 with us. We'll be back with more Meet the Candidate in just a moment.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
As a practicing attorney with 28 years of courtroom experience, it is important to me that we have honest, fair, and experienced judges. I'm Jody Carney, and as the next district judge for Baxter and Marion counties, I want to help keep our communities safe and provide professional and efficient administration of justice. Please allow me to provide this service by voting Jody Carney for district judge. Early voting begins May 9th and continues through Election Day on May 24th.
Overhead Door, a garage door company that has been with your family from the beginning, through all the ups and downs of life. From the small repairs to making your vision a reality. Overhead Door, your trusted garage door expert since 1921. Be sure you're getting the genuine, the original overhead door service.
Call Overhead Door Company of North Arkansas today in Mountain Home.
At Serendipity Bliss, we love turning your day into a once-in-a-lifetime memory by offering unique, beautiful, and specialized event and wedding rentals that can transform any atmosphere into something you will never forget. Whether it's your dream wedding, a golden anniversary, Sweet 16 party, or a company event, we can make any event blissfully perfect. Serendipity Bliss carries unique specialty gifts and bridal jewelry and helps coordinate decor, table items, theme-related pieces, and more. Make your day blissfully perfect with Serendipity Bliss, located behind Car Care Mountain Home.
Hi.
Welcome back to the morning show. We're visiting with our guest, Alan Yarbrough, who's candidate for State Representative District 27. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate y'all having me again.
We're talking about you being a teacher coach and then going on to being a principal and then moving into the solid administration and being the superintendent of schools. How easy was that transition to go from teacher coach into being a principal for you?
Well, you know, I think for me the transition was pretty easy for the most part. You know, obviously being in the classroom, you have that foundation because you know that's the core of your school, and being able to understand the challenges of the classroom. And by the way, when I started 31 years ago in the classroom teaching, coaching, certainly things have progressed quite a way since then. So things have changed. So I think having that background, and then also, you know, being a coach, you know. You get evaluated every Tuesday and Friday night.
Yes, you do.
Okay, and so the court of public opinion can be pretty good or it can be pretty tough. And so I think that prepares you for that next step. When you've done those things, that prepares you for that next step of going into administration. And
let's stop for just a moment. Got a quick question to throw in here. The old saying of "it doesn't matter if you win or lose; it's how you play the game." Does that still stand?
Well, I think so. I think that athletics, you know, obviously one of the most important things that we can learn from athletics is that, you know, not everybody's going to win, and you're going to have to be able to take the good with the bad. Mm-hmm. So I think, yeah, there's still some value in that. Now,
the only people that don't understand that is little Johnny's mom and dad, because little Johnny's at the end of the bench.
That's very true.
They don't understand that concept.
That's very true, and it is difficult. But I still think there's, you know, athletics and sports is one of the greatest teaching tools that we have. You know, character building, being able to work with folks. All those things are things that, you know, we need in our society today, and I think athletics is a great tool to teach that. I don't think athletics is should be the main focus. Obviously, we're here to educate kids, and we need to do a really good job today of educating kids and preparing them for their futures, whatever that may be. So, but there's a value in all of it, and so like I said, I think my experiences in athletics certainly prepared me for that next step to be, to run a building and to manage that part of it, because now, not only are you just dealing with kids, but you're dealing with teachers and you're dealing with parents and you're dealing with the community. So those are all things, that you have to be able to deal with, and certainly being a classroom teacher and being a coach helped prepare me for that.
And being a principal, what school were you principal at?
So I was at Marshall High School for 14 years.
Okay. And you've watched that school grow and then shrink back and then grow some more?
Right.
What is the swing right now for Marshall?
Well, so, the pandemic has, made it a challenge for us because we lost several students. Look, when the pandemic started, nobody really knew what to expect. And, we had a lot of parents that had fears and concerns, rightly so. We all did. And a lot of those parents chose to pull those kids out of school and homeschool them. So that impacted us greatly, that we had to deal with that situation. In Searcy County, we've kind of like you said, we've had our ebbs and flows in this. And certainly when I started, we were just Marshall High School. And then in 2004, when the legislature passed Act 60, I believe, and we saw a lot of consolidation of schools, then, we also had to deal with that in my school, because we pretty much brought in Wit Springs, which was a very tiny school in Searcy County, and then also we brought Leslie. And so one of my challenges as principal is I had to bring all those kids into Marshall High School once that started. And so obviously that was a huge challenge for me as principal, to make those kids feel welcome, make them feel like they were a part of our school. And so we had, we dealt with that. We lived through that. And so our school district grew at, to a certain degree at that point. And so now the trend is back to, we have been declining. Our enrollment has been, but like all communities, Searcy County and the other counties around us, we saw a lot of influx of people moving in the last 2 years, trying to get out of places where they're at and move into the rural areas. And so, I want to believe that at some point we're going to see some growth back in our school system there from that movement into the county.
Yeah.
What made you decide to take the leap? And it probably was a leap from principal to superintendent.
Well, that's a good question. Sometimes things just happen in life that it just kind of leads you that direction. And I think once I made the decision to get into administration in Marshall, I think I always kind of knew at some point that my next step in this, didn't know when, but I kind of felt like my next step would always be to be a superintendent of schools at some point. And things just worked out. I worked for a guy that was there in Marshall for 15 years. I worked for him, and then he retired, and so I kind of felt like at that point that it was my turn to step up and take the lead. And so my school board made the decision to put me in that role, and I hope that I've done a good job for them, and that they're happy. They've let me stay there 8 years.
Yeah,
so
that's a good sign.
In my profession, you can be there one day and gone tomorrow. That's how being superintendent is, because the board has that option of not renewing your contract and letting you go. So I've been very fortunate. I have to say this every time. I've been fortunate to have a very good school board that I've worked with, very passionate about doing what's best for kids, and been very supportive. And I've pretty much had the same 5 members on my board since I started. They've stayed with me, and I think we've done some really good things in our school district, but I would not have been able to do any of those things without the support of my school board. That's critical.
How big is it, the Searcy County School District, or is it the Marshall School District?
Searcy County School District.
How big is that district, and how many schools does it encompass?
Well, so the Searcy County School District, we have 3 schools. We have Marshall Elementary School, we have Leslie Intermediate School, which is our 4th through 6th grade campus, and then Marshall High School, which is 7 through 12. And we have about 750 students in our school district right now.
Okay. The old Wit Springs school, what happened to it?
So that school basically the buildings are there, but the community now has that campus, and so they use that campus. They've done a really good job out there with those facilities, with trying to restore them. They had a high school building there that was in really bad shape, and so there's been some folks out there in that community that has gotten involved and done a lot of restoration on that building. Their gymnasium was a fairly new facility when they had to close, and so that's all been given back to the community, and they use it for events and different things, and so it's really neat what they're doing out there with that school.
How many employees do you have throughout the district?
So it kind of depends on what day it is. Of course, we have our contracted employees, but then we also have some hourly employees. So we probably have about 150 employees. We are the largest employer in Searcy County.
Okay. What about the budget? How big of a budget do they deal with?
So my budget is somewhere around $8 million, $8.5 million.
And at this point, do you have a lot of outstanding bond issued?
So we do have some debt. We don't have any more debt probably than any other school our size. When I first became superintendent, we had some financial issues that we were having to work through, and so we had to make some adjustments in that. One of the issues that we had was that we had some facilities that the state had identified that needed to be improved upon, and so we did have to go back to our voters and ask for a millage increase in order for us to do that. But I can say this: when I inherited this position, we were on the early watch list for early intervention for physical stress, and so I spent the first 2 years of my tenure superintendent trying to make sure we got off that list, and I had to make some really tough decisions with staffing and different things like that. But I'm going to leave this position in June the 30th with a surplus, and we've not ever been able to get to that point. So I feel pretty good about that. I think as a public servant, you've got to be physically responsible for the money that the people give you, and so we've tried to work really hard in Searcy County and make sure we do that. So my goal was that when I leave this position, I want it to be better than what it was when I found it, and I'm going to be able to do that. I'm going to feel like I've been able to accomplish that.
How important is it for you as the superintendent of schools to have a good working relationship with the other heads of the area, the mayors, the county judge, other superintendents in schools around you?
Yeah, I think it's critical. I think being neighborly it doesn't matter if you're at your home or in your work life, whatever it is. We need to be good neighbors, and because we all have issues and problems, and we all have things that from time to time that we can help each other with, and I think that's important to do that. I said this the other night at a meeting. Being superintendent has certainly given me experiences in about every aspect of our community's everyday life. You're talking about transportation. I have my district's 550 square miles. We run almost 1,000 miles a day with our 13 bus routes. Highways are very important to me. When you start talking about economics and you talk about jobs and those kind of things, we certainly have our fair share of having to deal with the downside of that, of not having enough jobs in Searcy County and what problems that brings. You talk about dealing with law enforcement and those kind of things. We have to deal with that on a daily basis. So there's not any aspect of your community that you don't deal with directly as superintendent of schools. So you have to deal with your county judges. You have to deal with your mayors and your school boards and your other school districts. Because we do join, and you have kids that want to go from one school to another, and so how you handle those things certainly impacts your relationship with your other school districts. And I think we've always been able to work through that, because hey, look. It doesn't matter if you sit on a city council or you're a quorum court member or your school board member. We've had our challenges. We've got our challenges right now, and so
they won't go away,
and they're not going to go away. And so we need to make sure that we're supportive of one another, because I think it's going to take everybody. If we're truly going to make life better for the people that we serve, we're going to have to be able to work together.
Absolutely. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. This morning our guest is Alan Yarbrough, candidate for State Representative District 27. When we come back, we're going to talk about his race and why he thinks he's the best man for the job. Be back in just a moment.
I'm Kevin Liddy. I'm running for the office of Baxter County Judge. Over the last 28 years, I've served the citizens of Baxter County while working with the Mountain Home Police Department. I am passionate about the citizens and its employees, and I'd like to keep moving Baxter County forward. In the last few years, our county's infrastructure has greatly improved, and I would like to keep moving us forward. I'm Kevin Liddy. I ask for your vote in the Republican primary on May 24th.
Scrap Daddy's Metals is a full-service scrap recycling center accepting your scrap metals for recycling, paying you top dollar for all of your recyclable metals. They even buy cars and catalytic converters. Give them a call today at 870-424-6120 or visit them at 2821 Highway 5 North in Mountain Home. Close to Lake Norfolk and a short journey to Jordan County Line Liquor is your destination for all your refreshment needs. They offer the widest variety of all your wines, beers, and liquors with the cleanest atmosphere and the largest selection in the area. Not sure what to get? Ask Jordan County Line Liquor's friendly and knowledgeable staff for an expert recommendation you can't go wrong with. Also, don't forget about the Smoker's Den for all your smoking and accessory needs. That's Jordan County Line Liquor, close to Lake Norfolk, located on Highway 177 in Jordan, Arkansas.
My name is John Montgomery. 18 years ago, you hired me as your Baxter County Sheriff. My management team and I have worked hard to make the Sheriff's Office a premier law enforcement agency. I believe that transparency is the greatest form of public trust. As a result, my guiding principles of honesty, integrity, and professionalism have shaped the direction of our office. Working for the citizens of Baxter County has been the greatest privilege of my professional career. I have much more to do for you and the Sheriff's Office, and I respectfully ask for your vote on May 24th.
Hi, it's Bob Zadora, the Z-Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. As you know, we are all facing some unusual times. Be calm. Be smart. The business world of real estate will continue. We may have some delays and some changes that are out of our control, but life will go on, and this too will pass. Give thanks for this wonderful country that we live in. Give thanks for the neighbors that we share. If there's anything we can do to give you a hand, give us a call. 870-405-0793. And check out our website, retiredtoarkansas.net.
It's a matter of taste.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Thank you again for joining us. We're with Alan Yarbrough. He's candidate for State Representative District 27.
Let's get into the meat of the race here. Where is District 27?
So District 27 encompasses the counties of Newton, Searcy, and then I have northern Stone County, basically the northern half of Stone County, and then I have all of Izard County, and then I have just a little portion of Baxter County, which is right there around Big Flat. So that makes up District 27.
So you have all of Izard County?
All of Izard County.
So you swoop all the way around the lower half of Baxter then?
And then I pretty much all, yes sir, the lower half. And it's the second largest house district in the state per square mile. So it's very interesting the way that District 27 has come together. Never before has Searcy County, Newton County and Searcy County were together prior to the redrawing of the lines, but we've never been in a district with Izard County and Stone County. So it's kind of a unique district when you look at historically how those lines have been and then how they are today.
What made you throw your name in the hat?
Well, I've got 31 years in public education. And I certainly think the work that I have done in public education over the last 8 years, I've been able to work with the state legislature, obviously going and supporting my school, and I think the work that I've done there has certainly given me that insight to state government and how it operates and those kind of things. But I'm a pretty passionate guy. I'll just say it like that. I'm very passionate about public education. I've enjoyed being a public servant. I think as superintendent of schools, like I said, you get to see all aspects of your community's life and day-to-day activities, and so I'm a public servant, and even though I'm going to leave education at the end of this year, you know, I still have that fire in me to work for the public. And so, you know, if the voters in District 27 on the 24th of this month will give me an opportunity, I'd like to go to work for them in the state legislature.
Granted, education is very important. We spoke a little bit earlier about you being a coach, and athletics cannot be the main focus of a school or a child going to school, but athletics play a big role in keeping a student in that school. That said, education can't be your only focus as a state representative. What other things would you like to see change, or things that you can improve on, or think you can voice your opinion to help improve?
Right, very good question. So I've been very consistent in saying this. You know, your state representative is your grassroots voice in the state legislature. You know, you have your senators, and you know, depending on the population of the county, those can be divided up in different ways. But your state representative, that's your grassroots voice in the state legislature. And so, you know, let me just give you just a few examples, because we could talk quite a bit. And like I said, as superintendent, you touch a lot of aspects of people's lives, and so. Let's talk about real issues. So right now in Searcy County and in Newton County especially, and even into Stone and Izard County, you know, we have an opportunity to see broadband internet service brought to those communities. There's a lot of federal dollars that are out there right now for companies to have to put that into those rural areas, and we need it. Okay, as superintendent of schools, one of the biggest challenges I've had in the last 2 years is trying to educate kids while they're at home in front of a computer or some type of device, and not being able to connect with them through the internet. Okay, there is no place in Searcy or Newton County that you can go that you can be guaranteed that you're going to be able to connect to the internet, whether you're wired in or you're, you know, whatever the case may be. It's just not there. It's impossible because of where we live. But we have an opportunity in those communities to be able to make a difference in that. And so one of the things that I've been very engaged in as superintendent, and I will be very engaged in going forward if the voters elect me, is trying to make sure that we have good broadband in Searcy and Newton County. And those companies that are taking those federal dollars to put that in, I think that's the job of the state legislator, is to make sure that they use that money for what they're saying they're going to do and provide that service for the citizens of those two areas. And we need that, because, you know, that impacts not just school, but it also impacts business and just everyday life, being able to have good broadband internet and be able to access the internet from your home. So that's a huge thing, okay, for me right now, being able to do that. And I've been very involved. Our school district recently sold some property to Pettygene Electric Cooperative, who is going to be one of the bidders for that money to get into the broadband service. And so we also have Windstream there. So we're going to have some competition in Searcy County, and competition's good, okay? Because when you have competition, then that makes it better for the consumer, okay? And so I'm very excited about that. We've got some work to do in Newton County, but I think there's going to be some opportunities there to be able to help with that. And so I'm very passionate about that. You know, the roads, obviously, as superintendent, you know, when the mountain slides off in Witch Springs and I'm trying to get a bus into school, that's a big deal. And so I understand the value of having good roads. I think there's a real opportunity in Searcy County and in other counties, you know, for the funding to be able to improve our roads. And so, you know, I want to make sure I'm that voice that's there in the state legislature, making sure that that the money that's been allocated for certain projects gets to those projects and they get funded, and so we can see our roads improve. You know, in Izard County, there's a lot of talk right now of expansion of the prison. I'm pretty excited about that. That means jobs. And so, you know, I would like to be that voice in the state legislature to help see that happen, you know, because that could be a huge deal for the Calico Rock community and other communities in Izard County and even Baxter County. So I think that's important.
One of the things that we've seen over the last 6 or 8 years is the increasing number of outfits like MedExpress and Boston Mountain, BRMC has got these little satellite clinics and things. What's your thoughts on those, and how can the state help expand those into littler communities?
Well, again, I'm not talking about things that I'm going to do. I want to talk about some things that I've done and maybe kind of lead into answering your question. But healthcare is important, and it's always a challenge. It doesn't matter where you're at or what it is, but having access to healthcare. And I think Boston Mountain and some of these other companies have certainly done a really good job of making sure that our rural communities have access to health care. If you go to Deer, Arkansas, you're going to find a Boston Mountain Clinic out there. Now, how neat's that? A community of, probably 400 people, and so every day they've got access to a clinic there, for health care. So that's a neat deal, and I want to support that because I think that's important. Something that I've done as superintendent in the last year is, we saw a need in Marshall for our students to be able to have access to health care because the providers there were pretty well overwhelmed in a lot of cases. And so if your child got sick, you might be 2 or 3 days before you could get in to see a provider. So we were able, through a partnership with Boston Mountain, to start a clinic in our school this year. And we have our own nurse practitioner that's on site every day. And so now when our students get sick, all they've got to do is come to school basically, and we're going to get them in to see their nurse. So I haven't seen the numbers on that yet, but I really believe that that's going to cut down on our absenteeism, and we're going to be able to get kids in school, and so they can see the nurse, and she can prescribe medication for them and get them back in class. So short answer for your question, that's a big deal. It's a big deal to me, and so I think all of those folks that are trying to provide those services are important, and I want to be able to support them. Whether it's in Deer or wherever the case may be in Marshall, I want the folks in my district to be able to have access to quality health care.
What about vocational education, career training? Is that something that a state representative has involvement in?
Absolutely. So I'm gonna give you a real quick answer. So in the Searcy County School District, we have North Central Career Center. So I'm very familiar with career and technical education. We're the smallest career center in the state, but we have 4 programs, and I am certainly I think we've been on the forefront of trying to see a shift, especially now. It's critical that not every kid's going to go to college. So we need to have a very strong effort in making sure that those kids have a pathway, that if they're not going to college, that they have job skills, that they're job ready when they graduate from high school, because we need them in the workforce now. Yeah. Okay, and because we're struggling to find people to work, and so we need our kids that are not going to college. They need to have a skill that they can go to work and help serve their communities. And so I'm going to be very adamant about working with career and technical education to try to improve our programs there.
Sounds to me like you're going to turn a part-time job into a full-time job.
Well, I've always been used to getting up early and staying late, so that doesn't scare me.
This will be no different.
This will be no different.
Look at that camera right there and tell folks why they need to vote for you as District 27 representative.
Well, I think I'm passionate about serving our communities, and I do think that the work that I've done in public education has certainly prepared me to go to Little Rock and work for my community, and I'd love to have the opportunity to do that if the voters decide to send me.
Early voting is going on right now. Go to your early voting poll place and cast your vote. Mr. Alan Yarbrough, candidate for State Representative District 27, would appreciate your vote. We thank you for taking the time to make the trip up here from Marshall.
Thank you for having me today.
We've got to go. Thanks for watching the morning show on XL7-TV.